got some weight to it. What? The fudge.
Okay, we got Motherlode Maple, Alaskan Chewy, and Mount Juno Mint. Hunter, we took you to this place when you were 1 year old.
What?
And
he loved it?
it was a fun memory.
Dang,
How is it?
Good.
Good. More.
Hello friends, and welcome back home. It was wonderful to go on a cruise, and it's wonderful to come home and look how it has blossomed while we were gone. We have green leaves on the trees. We've got grass. No more snow, no more puddles. Spring is here in South Central Alaska. When we pulled into Whittier after our cruise yesterday, it was snowy, it was rainy, it was cold. Thankfully, as we made our way home, the weather just got nicer and nicer. We've got some things to do to get ready for the week ahead. We thought we'd bring you along. The boys enjoyed their fudge that we brought them from Juneau. We all really enjoyed it. And hi Luna. Yeah. You know I'm going to talk to the camera, so you want me to talk to you first? Hi, sweetheart. My dad turned 80 last Christmas, and as a birthday present, my brother and his wife bought him a skylight frame. So this sits in their living room. We all have an app on our phone, and we send him photos every week. You can send them every day, multiple times a day, but we all upload photos to my dad's skylight frame. It's about half this size. So if you cut this box in half this way, it's about that size. The app is super easy to use. I can see all the pictures that my siblings send him. I just love this picture frame. Well, I decided for Mother's Day to order myself a skylight calendar. This also doubles as a picture frame when you don't have it on the calendar, but I wanted to make sure that we are all on the same page. Luna is sniffing the camera, trying to figure out what I'm doing looking at this little black box. I'm not exactly sure how it works, but I know that I can put like chores on it, give each kid a list that they have to check off. We can sync our calendars on it. And then when it's not in calendar mode, it becomes picture mode. On the app that all the family already has downloaded, they can add our frame calendar and send pictures, because then my kids can see their cousins all the time. Our children are not on social media, so they are not seeing their cousins. Pictures like I might see from my siblings. So we are gonna make sure to give everybody the option to connect with us on this skylight. I ordered this with my own money. I wanted to try it out. Family Life Simplified. So this is gonna go on the wall, or it can also, I think, sit on the counter. Quick start guide. Okay, so we've got some different pieces to mount it to the wall if we want. What I'm guessing. And then we have a power cord, so I gotta decide where I want to put it. This is one of the reasons why I upgraded to the calendar and not just the frame. I wanted to be able to do this chore chart. We were actually gone on our little trip during Mother's Day, so I came back to these all about my mom. This one's Weston's. What's my mom's name? Lauren, 36. Her job is to be a YouTuber. Favorite color, green. Favorite food, pickle. My mom is really good at cleaning the house. My favorite thing about my mom is because she is my mom, it makes my mom happy when I have snuggle time. My mom always says, please and thank you. I love it when my mom snuggles with me. My mom loves me because I'm her son. I think my favorite thing about it is the handwriting and the spelling. And then Everett made me one too. I love the ways I love how they've spelled my name all sorts of different ways. Favorite color, green. Favorite food, salad. Yeah. My mom is really good at cooking. I like that. My favorite thing about my mom is her hugs. It makes my mom happy when I clean. My mom always says nice words. I love when my mom hugs me. My mom loves me because I love her. Everett, how sweet is that? Sweet boys. Very scratchy. I probably should have put on a long sleeve shirt. The time has come to make more sugar water for the bees. Oh, that's a fun game. Grandpa and the boys split all this wood, got it all stacked away for summer. If you watched our videos before we left, there was a huge pile here. This stuff is all new from yesterday, but while we were gone, they did this beautiful work. Does this go over?
Yeah. Yeah, just go over. All right, so right now we're just checking to see if there's any, how they're doing. And how did that happen? We got a bee somehow made its way into the feeder box. This used to be full of sugar syrup and it's totally empty. So we need to add some sugar syrup. I'm going to do it after we check on the bees because it gets kind of heavy and sloshes around. The bees come up from the hive and they can come down through this little clear thing, but they're looking for water right now, or sugar water, and we don't have any. And we need to feed them for probably another week or so. It's just starting to green up and the dandelions just popped out a day or so ago, but there's still not quite enough nectar in the flowers to feed the hive. So we're gonna give them a little bit more sugar water and then they should be good to go for the rest of the summer. Okay, so let's put this lid on here so they don't get trapped. I'm gonna set this over here. Looks like the bees have really, you can see they started putting wax all over in here, gluing these frames to the side of this box. So right now we're just testing to see kind of how they're doing and make sure the queen's laying eggs. I'll put my gloves on. So this one's at the end of the hive, nothing really going on this one. Let's just set it down here so we got some room to work with. This one's really light. I can just tell by holding it that there's not much going on. It's really lightweight. There's no honey in there, no nectar. And that's normal. This time of year, they are really concentrated on the center hive. This one too, it's got a little bit of sugar syrup right in there, not much. I'll slide that one over. Okay, this one's starting to get heavier. Look at that, we got some honey at the top. There's quite a bit of sugar syrup in there. And the bees are just in there working it, that's good. Okay. You wanna work the beehives in a sunny day like this, because right now, you know, a big portion of the bees are actually not even in the hive. They're out and around foraging, looking for pollen and nectar. And those are the most aggressive bees, the bees that are the field bees. And now they're all out of the hive. So, oh, this is great. There's the queen right here. She's got the red on her. She's a lot bigger than the other bees. So that's good. We know the queen's there. I'm not gonna mess around too much. This comb right here, we've got pollen right here. And this is brood. And you can see some of that brood's not capped. Those are little larvae down in there. I'm gonna put this back down in here because I don't want that queen flying away. On this side right here, lots of new brood. Look at all those little eggs. I don't know if you can see down in here, all different kind of development stages there, the brood. So that's good. This is really good.
Hey, be careful with that queen in there.
I'm just gonna slide this other one over real quick. I just want to leave that queen happy right there. Check here on this.
It's really good to find the queen.
Yeah,
that was
great.
good. That was a good spot.
Okay, so we got some more brood. And what I can tell is some of this brood is capped and some of it's not. So some of it, I think some of these bees have already emerged and gone through a whole life cycle, which is 21 days for new worker bees, which is good. So every 21 days, you got the eggs kind of, you know, turning into bees, emerging. So yeah, here we got a good mix of some comb, some pollen. I can see a lot of little eggs down in there. That's really healthy. That's good. So at first, the bees go through a whole bunch of different stages. When they first emerge, they work in the hive and they clean things up. They can serve the queen. Look at this. So here we got another one. This is honey right up in here. Then you can see pollen. They are packing the pollen. All that yellow and orange, that's from dandelion. And then here we got brood growing. And pretty soon, see that white? They're gonna put a wax cap on it. In the final week or so of their development there, they're closed in, and then they crawl out when they're ready to go to be born. See if we can find one that's emerging. I don't see any. But yeah, lots of pollen here. See, what I'm seeing is a lot of pollen, but not a lot of honey yet. So there's just not a lot of nectar. There's a lot of pollen, and so we need to keep feeding them that sugar water. Yeah, this one's pretty lightweight. So here, look at this. This one, you can see they got capped honey here. Here's sugar syrup that's not capped yet. And then down over here, there's pollen. So.
Very busy.
Okay, we're just gonna close this up. So this, I don't need to add any other boxes or anything to this other than some sugar water. They definitely have a lot of room to still fill up. They don't need any expansion yet on this hive, but doing well for this time of year. Okay.
It is around the 20th of May when we are filming this video. We will be harvesting this honey sometime in August.
Yeah, first to second week of August.
First to second week of August. So okay, so when I was doing some research, it said that bees in the summertime only last about 6 weeks.
That's true. It's actually really, really dangerous being a bee when they're out foraging. So here we got that sugar syrup going in. We're just gonna close this off. Close it up. Should probably take these dead bees out so they don't start rotting. Close it up. And let's strap it down. Yeah, so in the summertime, the bees only live 6 to 8 weeks. It's actually kind of a hazardous life being a bee. And the first couple weeks they're in the hive and they have different jobs, cleaning the hive, attending to the queen, taking care of like a nursery bee, taking care of the brood. And then their final stage in life are the field bees, and they go out foraging for nectar and pollen, and it can be really hazardous, and they only live a couple weeks until they die out in the field or they wear out. And so for a hive to be healthy like this, they're continually laying new eggs and building a new crop of bees and continually expanding. In case you're new here, the reason we strap these down is because we have four-legged bear friends that live in the neighborhood. Here's some claw marks from some previous times bears have come and kind of investigated the hives. And if we didn't strap these down, a bear could like push it over, and yeah, we could lose our beehive. And so to protect against that, we have these strapped down with ratchet straps. All right, there's a little bit of syrup in here, but not much.
So the summertime bees only last 6 to 8 weeks, whereas the wintertime bees, the last bees that are created at the end of the summer, can last longer because they're just staying inside the hive through the wintertime. But it's still really rough in Alaska to keep bees alive through the winter, but we do attempt it. Sometimes we're successful, other times we are not. Okay, we're gonna check this second hive, see if we can find the queen, just make sure that they're making brood and doing all that good stuff. Brood, and then honey up there in the corner.
Wow, there's so much pollen right in here.
Lots of pollen.
Yep. So right now Lauren's just loosening it up. These bees, they stick everything together. They glue this hive together with a thing called propolis, and that's just their natural tendency. And so she has to use this tool to kind of pry it apart a little bit each time we want to look at it. Oh wow, that one's busy. Look at all those bees.
Looks good.
Yep. So it has so much pollen.
So later in the season, we want to make sure that they're not building a new queen or anything, right, too? Or is that
Yeah,
like,
so
or
later in this year, kind of as a, you need to think of a beehive as kind of a whole living organism. And any type of organism, they want to reproduce or replicate. And so the way that bees do that is they have what's called a swarm. So half the beehive will all of a sudden get into a big swarm, and the queen, and they'll have actually made a duplicate queen, and they'll fly off to a tree trunk or some other spot where they want to make a hive. And as beekeepers in Alaska, we have to work really hard to make sure that doesn't happen, because if we lose half of our beehive, we pretty much would lose all of our honey crop for the year. So that will be something we'll be looking for later. That looks great. That's all, lots of really good brood right there in the center. You see any fresh eggs or any spots?
Right there. Are those fresh eggs?
There'll just be little white dots, like little flecks. It's a lot easier to see on the ones that have a black background.
Oh, there's the queen.
Oh,
her red dot.
Queen. Yeah, there she is.
That's good.
There's the queen right there.
Okay, we'll put her back in.
Just
so
put
that
her right back in, and yep.
Yay, we found the queen in both.
It's good.
But we knew there was a queen in there because there were so many new brood.
So that queen has a red dot on its back, and that's put there by the apiary, the company where we get the queen and the beehive from. Oh yeah, that's all full of sugar syrup. Yep.
Sugar syrup.
Yep. And so that's to help facilitate finding the queen, number one. And then two, if you have bees for multiple years, they also have a colored pattern to know what year that queen was born. So you know how old the queen is. Most beehives, the queen actually will live for several years, 2 or 3 years, as opposed to the regular bees. But you'll want to replace your queen probably at least every year, so she's young and healthy and laying lots of eggs. Yeah,
okay, that one didn't have barely anything on it, so are these last ones going to have anything?
Probably not. We already saw the queen. We've seen what we need.
Yeah, these ones are...
We can just kind of slide these back, carefully slide them back, and then we'll put the sugar syrup in.
Okay.
Syrup. So the bees actually prefer natural sugar from the nectar from all the flowers. So even if we had sugar in here all summer long, they'll stop taking it here in about a week or so once the nectar actually starts coming from the flowers. So by the end of the year, all the honey that we get will be generated just from flowers in the yard and from the area around here.
So we check these beehives throughout the spring and summer every 7 to 10 days. Just do a hive check, make sure everything's still good. They need a lot of attention over the summer to have a healthy hive in Alaska. So I was just gathering up all my supplies to work in the raspberry patch here behind me, and I just told Mark that there is a bird's nest over in our carport, and he goes, "Let me show you." It's got 4 of the most beautiful eggs in it. Those are like the most cool blue color. Robin's egg blue. It's a robin, right? They look like a red-breasted robin. Yeah. That's a true sign of spring. We got some baby bird eggs. So over the next week, I'm going to be tackling our raspberry patch here. It is a huge job. The variety of raspberries we have in Alaska are biannual raspberries, which means that the stalks that had fruit on them last year will never produce fruit again. So they need to be cut down to the ground. But last year, a second stalk grew up. That is this year's stalk, and it will have fruit on it this year. Last year it just had leaves on it. So I got to cut away all of last year's stalk so that this year's stalk is ready to go. It's pretty easy to tell which ones are old and which ones are new. The old ones are very brittle and break very easily. We'll be cutting these down all the way to the ground. We also choose to tie up our raspberries to these stakes so that we can run a lawnmower through here and it's easy to walk through here. And if we find stray raspberries growing in between the rows, we will also dig those up and relocate them just so that we have nice walking paths through our raspberry patch. This is a very big job that we do every single year. We try and take really good care of these raspberries. You can cut them down in the fall or in the winter, but they do need attention, or the raspberries will still put their energy into the old canes and you will not get the fruit that you want. So you do need to cut away the old canes on this type of raspberry. So over the course of the next week, I will come out here about an hour at a time, cut down old canes, tie up the raspberries, and by the end of the week, we should have our raspberry patch all nice and cleaned up. I find this is best done by putting in an audio book and just going plant to plant and getting the work done. It's a tedious task, but the fruit in the fall always makes it worth it. I always make sure to wear long sleeves and gloves when working in our raspberries. They are thorny raspberries, they are not thornless. So to avoid getting my hands and arms scraped up, I always try and wear long sleeves. Hunter and Bennett have been working up here on our hill, making some mountain biking trails and tricks. They've been building up this old piece of deck here. And then they built up here. They have some rocks under there and some dirt. Oh gosh. Hello. Woo! Okay, don't hit me.
Hunter, it's not turning on!
That's really cool. Well, I got 3 rows in on the raspberries. Everybody is outside enjoying this beautiful weather, but quickly they're gonna realize how hungry they are. So I gotta come up and get started on dinner. Okay, I'm gonna give you a couple that need to be cut up.
Alright, can I eat them?
Well, we need them for dinner. Just cut them once.
Okay, let's put a pile for mine. Okay.
You can just cut them once. They just need to be a little bit smaller.
It's bad for you to eat oil.
Nope.
No, I want a few more.
Well, we're using last year's halibut. This is one of our last packages. We're close to going and harvesting some other. We're gonna try a new recipe called Chick-fil-a halibut. YouTuber I know, he does it, and he says it tastes just like Chick-fil-a, so we're gonna give it a try and see how it is. First step is cutting it into, kind of
Sandwich size.
Cutting it into sandwich size pieces. And then, one of the secrets, I guess, is to let it marinate in pickle juice for about 30 minutes. So we're gonna give it a try. Okay. These little garlic bits.
Yeah, that'd be great.
It's fine.
What are you working on over here, sir?
A salad.
A salad? Good job. Yeah. Supervisor Luna is watching over everything we're doing, yeah? You think that fish smells pretty good, huh? We came home to some bananas going bad, so I'm gonna make my favorite banana cake. I'm gonna make some muffins and a cake. I'm doubling the recipe. I will put the link in the description below. I've made this recipe a ton on the channel because it is just a family favorite. Banana cake.
Listen, this is for salad.
And being watching this and remember all the things that they did.
Do you know this trick? Putting the wax paper over your butter when you melt it in the microwave so it doesn't spray all over the place. Just make sure it's a wax paper and not any metal in it. Even though I wore gloves working on the raspberries, I keep feeling little like microscopic little stickers that I can't even see, but all of a sudden it'll be like, eee! I need to wear thicker gloves out there. Sour cream makes the cake extra moist and dense. do that
no
on the
one
app, or
Oh, good, Everett.
Or you would ask
or there were screens where you could.
Yeah, right into there. Yep.
There were screens all over the boat.
No, that's it. Just a little bit. Yeah, that much. Bit of sugar.
There were screens all over the boat that you could push find my shipmates, and then you could scan that. There was a spot to scan it, and then it would show you where on the boat they were, what level, and where. And then you could go find them.
It's kind of like,
Because our phones didn't work very well.
it's kind of like having a Marauder's map.
get into
Get in and out of your room. If not, it won't unlock for you. There's no other way to unlock your door unless you have to ask for help.
For our windows, and so Mom and I, we were on floor number 9.
They do look, they were just really brown on the outside.
What if you got a helicopter ride to land on the cruise ship?
That one didn't have a helipad.
Okay, so wait. This is what you do, Weston. You start right here, and you take it into the flour first. Into the flour, and then into the egg, and then into the panko.
This recipe is coming from Mark's 99 Spiro recipes. So Spiros are people who go spearfishing, and so it's a bunch of awesome fish recipes. And so it says to make this Chick-fil-a sauce from scratch. This has barely anything in it. You take 1/4 cup mayonnaise, 1/4 cup barbecue sauce, honey, lemon juice, mustard, and paprika.
Yeah.
This is some of our Alaska honey from a couple years ago. Once you have fresh honey, it's hard to have anything else. I very rarely have lemon juice, but I always have this crystallized lemon juice. It's great. I bought it on Amazon. I buy it in little packets too, sometimes to add to drinks. We're gonna use that. Paprika.
We need some glasses out there, I think.
All right, here's the Chick-fil-a halibut burger. Luna is enjoying the evening sunshine. This is 8:30 at night. Midnight sun has taken over here in Alaska. Thankfully, there's only 2 more days of school left. Trying to get these boys in to go to bed at a reasonable hour is getting harder and harder, with especially if the sun is shining. So we're gonna try and wrangle them up and get them to bed. Well, friends, today is the last day of school for my kids. I feel like I blinked and that school year flew by, and summer vacation has started. I spent most of the day today at the school doing field day with the younger 3 boys. It was so fun, but I can't believe Everett is done with kindergarten. Bennett is out of elementary school. He is officially a middle schooler now. Just blows my mind. I did get out some salmon this morning to make dinner. This is a recipe I made a few weeks ago. It turned out so yummy, I decided to make it again. Here we have some June 2022 salmon. We're trying to get through the last of the salmon. It's marinating. I will put the recipe to this marinade down below. It's very yummy. I am putting together some vegetables. I have shredded carrots, peppers, some green onion, and edamame. I do really like this with cucumber, but I don't have any cucumber, so we're just working with what we got. I still have not gone grocery shopping after the cruise. I'm going tomorrow, so we're just working with what we got. We got some rice in the rice cooker, And then on top of it, you put this Japanese mayo. They call it like QP mayo. And then this is the Trader Joe's gochujang sauce that one of our viewers, Kim from New York, sent us. One of the kids pulled the wrapper off. If you want to add a little bit of spice to it, that's really yummy. And we also got this Japanese like seaweed multi-purpose seasoning. It has sesame seeds and little pieces of seaweed. It kind of tastes like a deconstructed sushi roll, but with cooked salmon. So making these up, they are delicious. They are also really good with avocado. Don't have any avocados, but it's still gonna be really good. It's also really yummy to drizzle on some of this Japanese barbecue sauce when it's done. This is from Costco, and we've really been happy with it. We are heading to the cabin very, very soon. There are rumors of salmon starting to run, so we are trying to get through our last few packages of salmon.
The oven?
Yep. What are you watching over dinner, Miss Luna? Supervising? Happy last day of school!
Now we're gonna start summer school.
Bye. That's it.
Well, friends, we've been home Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, so 4 days, and have finally gotten through all the laundry, and I'm packing again. This is summer in Alaska. We are headed to the cabin for our first trip to the cabin, so I'm spending a few hours this morning packing up. We went Costco shopping yesterday. You'll see that video soon. When it comes to summertime, we switched to duffel bags. We do not use rolling suitcases. These are just much easier to stuff in a trunk, stuff in the back of the airplane. We all have REI duffel bags. It's a whirlwind, getting packed up, getting the food packed up, getting the boys ready to go. We can't wait to bring you along for our first trip to the cabin. Found some Rice Krispie treats on clearance. Bennett's making us up some Rice Krispie treats to take to the cabin.
A lot of marshmallows.
That is a lot of marshmallows. Tripling or doubling?
Looks like they're burnt.
Is it on low? Remember, you have to do it on low or they'll get rock hard. Got about an hour until we gotta get on the road to head to the cabin. Got a lot of dishes I need to clean. I always like to leave the house in a semi-clean state. It's not getting a deep clean, but I am gonna at least tackle these dishes. If you're worried about Miss Luna here while we're gone, my parents are here, and between her automatic feeder, water, and litter box, she is good to go. Just some cuddling from Grandma and Grandpa, some pets each day. They'll come up here and see her. She'll be just fine while we're at the cabin. Huh. Yeah, you watching everything going on and wondering, where are my people going? They're getting those bags out again, huh? Westy's a bit sweaty. He just got back from his training run. How are you feeling?
Good.
Were you able to run the whole thing?
I ran it. No, I didn't. I didn't run it. Because my shoe was untied.
Oh man, hate that when it happens. Hey Bennett, I did not put more water in. Can you come do that, please? Time to pack up the food. I'm running late. I'm not getting things done as fast as I was hoping this morning. Well, he just wore them to go. He just wore them to go running. Yes. Okay, the time has come. We're packing up the car. Boys, I need your help. Whew, that's better. I like to be fresh and clean before heading on a trip to the cabin. It was also good because I remembered a few things I was missing as I was in the shower. I've gathered those up. Thanks for spending this time with me. We're so grateful for each and every one of you. And we'll see you again real soon for more of this Alaska Life Cabin Edition. Now I gotta go because I'm running a half an hour late. And just in case you're wondering, we did end up getting the raspberry patch all done before we left for the cabin. I was able to cut down all the stalks. Then Mark and several of the boys worked on tying them all up. And they are ready for summer so they can grow big and strong and we can have awesome fruit in the fall. See you guys soon at the cabin. A little small.
Thank you.